반짝이는 눈빛 눈이 부셔 매일 날 감싸주는 손길.
Guhana was wearing a beautiful, colorful bracelet and Hwang Jin Goo couldn't help but ask her about it. He was curious if it was a gift from Unchong at kindergarten. Guhana explained that it was a lucky bracelet that comforted her when she felt tired, and oddly enough, good things seemed to happen when she wore it. She proudly showed it to him after rolling up her sleeve. Hwang Jin Goo, intrigued, asked if he could take a look at it, but Guhana jokingly said no, worried that the lucky would disappear if she took it off. Eventually, she handed it over, saying it was just a joke, but to be sure to return it properly. When Hwang Jin Goo held the bracelet, he was shocked. It looked familiar. It was a bracelet he had made 20 years ago. He asked her where she had gotten it, and Guhana, equally surprised, explained that it was a gift from a boy she met at the hospital when she was younger. He had given it to her before a big surgery. She remembered him as a kind boy with a bright smile, and she wondered if he had gotten better. Guhana started to rumble, feeling a bit tipsy from drinking. Hwang Jin Goo, curious about the boy's story, asked if that boy had been her first love, but Guhana laughed and said no. She explained that her first love was actually Unchong. As they drank and chatted, Guhana temporarily forgot about the stress in her life. The memories of difficult moments at work, like being treated badly by Choi Myung-ji and others, faded away. However, as the alcohol made her more relaxed, she quickly became defensive again and reminded Hwang Jin Goo that she had asked him to stop interfering with her work. This sudden change in tone made Hwang Jin Goo realize that she wasn't completely at ease with him, but he couldn't stop himself from saying that he couldn't stop caring about her. The atmosphere shifted and Guhana was confused about his intentions. Hwang Jin Goo then smiled and reassured her, saying he was fine and that the surgery had gone well. He also mentioned that the bracelet she gave him was made by him, which shocked her even more. Could it be that the boy from the past was actually Hwang Jin Goo? They both realized with surprise that the hospital they had been talking about was the same one. Guhana couldn't believe it and felt a rush of happiness as she saw Hwang Jin Goo, now an adult, had changed but remained the same person. Guhana then began to share stories from her past, how she had ended up in the orphanage, how she met Lee Duna, and how she was later adopted by her current family. She spoke about the painful loss of her parents and everything she had been through. Listening to her story, Hwang Jin Goo felt deeply moved and tears welled up in his eyes. He realized just how much Guhana had suffered and how strong she had been. Later, Hwang Jin Goo, still moved by her story, decided to take action on something he had been unsure about before. After hearing Guhana's past, he knew what he needed to do to help her. As he walked back, he smiled thinking about her and also remembered Unchong's words, which had stayed with him. You can't not get married. The next day, he made a decision. He went to Shin Yojin and agreed to take on the work that Secretary Jang had been doing. Shin Yojin thanked him, and as she did, she cried with joy. Guhana, she would soon find happiness like a Cinderella.
'Cause you are beautiful.